Hi, thanks for joining us again. Today we're going to look at Prokraft CPP mechanical pencil kits, which the kit is there as you can see, and there are two of those in a pack. Each one consists of a centre section, the end pulls off and there's a little rubber in there. There's a little chrome nib section which screws onto that part there, and there's a clip which goes over the wooden section once it's been made. Now the reason we're doing this video today is because we've had a few questions of people saying, is it actually possible to do these kits? Are there some bits missing? And the answer is no, there are no parts missing from the kit. That's all that's in the kit. You don't need any brass tubes or anything else. You do need a little bit of patience, you do need a little bit of skill, and you will need some extended drill bits. Ideally size 4mm, 5.5mm and 6.5mm, although the 6.5mm drill bit we use is just standard out of a standard drill set like this. They're quite a challenging kit for the drilling part. Once they're drilled though, straight onto the lathe, turn it between centres, very straightforward. So I've got some wood, I'll show you how we make them. I've got my pencil blank here, it's around about 110mm long, and you can see if I lay the kit across the top of it, the little nut that's just up there needs to be offset just down from the end a little bit, and we're still in the silver bar part here at the end of the blank, so that's about the right length. I've put a mark in the centre, and here I've got an extended 4mm drill bit. I'm going to drill all the way through 4mm right from one end to the other. You can see that drill is only just going to be long enough to go through. Ideally 5.5mm, this is actually 5mm. You can see how long this is. This has got so much flex in it, it's very, very difficult to use. I wouldn't suggest you use one this long, it just happens to be the only one I have. So it's going to be more difficult for me than it might be otherwise. What I'm going to do is take the blank and mark, so when we drill with this drill, it leaves around about 3mm at the end here. And if I hold it the other way around, a little bit easier for me, I'm just going to put a little bit of red tape just around the end of there to mark where I've got to drill down to. I'm going to do that with the drill in the drill press, but for the video I'm just showing you where I'm going to mark it. By doing it by hand is that the drill is going to follow the line that's already down there. What does happen when you drill these out is you tend to get a lot of clogging at the end here, the bit you're not quite drilling down to. Can't blow it out, but I will clear it out in a second. If you have something like a little hole punch, pop that in just to clear the end out. So now we've got a 4mm hole in this bit, a 5mm hole down all the way to within about 3mm of the bottom, and we now need to put a 6.5mm drill bit nearly all the way down. So this is the 6.5mm drill bit, and just for speed I'm going to do this by hand as well. A little bit of cleaning out. I can see there's some rough bits in there. It may be that you have to get drill bit and just clear some of the bits out of the inside. It does need to be clear of all the bits. So we've got a 4mm hole at this end, 6.5mm hole at this end. Ideally should be 5.5, but I've done it to 5 in there. And you can see if we take our pencil kit and pop it in there, the end pops out with a little bit of thread there, and the silver bit's covered at the end, and that mechanism works okay. In actual fact, if we have the chrome end piece, you can see that we can actually screw that on there, and essentially what we've got there is actually a working pencil kit. But now what we're going to do is turn this between centres on the lathe and make it the right shape. I've mounted the blank onto the lathe. I've got a light pull drive at this end. You may have your own equipment, and I've got a live tailstock at this end, and we're now going to turn this down to the right diameters. The plans tell us that we want at the nib end 7mm, because that's the size of that part there, actually 6.96, but 7mm is near enough, and 8.5mm at this end. That's so we can then push over the clip on the end, so the pencil has a clip. So I'm now going to trim down to the relevant distances at either end and get those correct, and then I can look at joining the shape up or putting any other shapes that I want into this section. Having now got these to the right diameters at either end, I can shape the pencil and now just start to finish it and put any finishing on that I want to, and then the assembly is very, very quick. So there we have the finished blank, and I'm going to go back into the other part of the workshop where it's not quite so bright so you can see me put it together. So we've got our wooden blank. It may well be that you want to just sand that off, put a bit of sealer on the end there. If you have some of these pliers, spreading pliers, they do make getting this little clip on just a fraction easier. If you don't, you can normally manage that, you can just spread them and pop them on, but I just use that just to spread that and pop the clip on the end there, and there you can see the clip's actually quite nice and tight on this one. We can then pop the pencil kit through the end there and screw on the chrome end cap.